Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this virtual presentation. My name is Chip Pullen, and I am the Public and Media Relations Manager here at the Central Ohio Transit Authority. The purpose of this meeting tonight is to discuss information regarding the service changes that will take effect on Monday, September 21st, 2020. During this presentation, we will include up-to-date resources about routes, the service, guidance on how to ride, and options for customers with mobility challenges. We want to remind you that this meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be posted on coda.com at a later time. And whether you are joining us by computer or by phone, your microphone is muted and we're unable to hear or see you. If you're joining us by computer or WebEx app, please ask questions and submit comments via the Q&A chat. And please be considerate of meeting attendees and CODA staff. Before we get started and show you more about the presentation or the service changes that are coming up, we want to tell you about some of the news policies that you might have seen over the past several months. We want to let you know how CODA is keeping passengers and employees safe. One of the first things that we did was suspend our fares, and that allowed us to have our customers board at the rear door. That really helped minimize the contact between customers and our frontline employees. And eventually, we're going to have protective barriers installed for our operators so you'll be able to board at the front door again. And when that happens, we will reinstate fares. And again, we don't know when that time is going to be. We don't have a timeline for that yet. One of the other things that we did was we required masks for customers and our frontline workers. Central Ohio Transit Authority was one of the first organizations in Central Ohio to require masks on while you are using CODA. And we wanted to make sure that you are aware of other things like our Ridership Data Review Committee. And basically, this is a committee that helps us make those service decisions. Some of those considerations have equity involved, and we'll discuss more about equity throughout this presentation. And really one of the cornerstones of our policies recently are our cleaning and sanitization processes. And that means on all of our coaches, our paratransit vehicles, and our microtransit vehicles. And we are also increasing the amount of sanitization at many of our high ridership stops. We want to remind you that CODA is still technically under a state of emergency, and over the past 6 months, our standard service change process could not be followed, although we are working towards a more normalized process. Before we get started and we show you the service changes that you'll see coming up next week, we want to tell you a little bit more about what's happened over the past 6 months with our service reduction. Many of you are probably wondering why CODA had to reduce service. And some of the reasons include reducing demand on our frontline employees. Many of our operators had to monitor health and handle childcare and family needs. We also had fewer commuters. More customers were working remotely. We were also under stay-at-home health orders, and that meant CODA was for essential travel only. So that's how we prioritized our service, through essential travel. And that meant CODA was used for food, healthcare work, and caring for others. And we also prioritized our service where ridership was high. For example, Line 10 remains strong during the pandemic, while Suburban Express ridership quickly dropped by 90%. We also reduced overlapping service. C-Bus was suspended because high ridership lines had already served that route. And we also factored in equity. For instance, for rush hour only line customers are more likely to own cars and be able to work remotely, while customers who use our frequent or standard lines are less likely to own cars and not able to work remotely. So now we are gradually restoring our service. And the way we are doing that is we're targeting overcrowding. CODA is committed to safe and secure travel during the COVID-19 pandemic, and buses are limited to 20 passengers so we can have that social distancing. We're also reconnecting neighborhoods. CODA is restoring lines to areas with no other service options. And we do that through comments from customers who are helping us identify where lines are most needed. We're focusing again on equity, prioritizing our resources to areas with low car ownership, essential work, and other equity factors. This is all a part of our recovery, which includes innovative mobility solutions. For instance, CODA Plus Northeast was launched this summer and provides microtransit access for customers who experience lost bus service in parts of Northeast Columbus, Westerville, Gahanna, and New Albany. And we have some changes coming up for that zone, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Also, we're collecting public input, and we're doing that through comments delivered to our customer service team or public engagement events like the one you're attending right now. So without further ado, let's begin a look at the September 21st service changes. And there are some great colleagues of mine who are going to show you what you'll see next Monday.
Thanks, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. My name is Drew Merrill. I'm a transit service planner here at CODA, and I'm going to be discussing the specific line changes that will be occurring on September 21st. Overall, we are restoring service to 78% of our pre-COVID routes. And the hours of operation on almost all the lines will run from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., with the exception being line 12, which will run from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. This table goes through the specific increases in frequency across our existing lines. Line 1 will run every 10 minutes from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 15 minutes the remainder of the day. Line 2 will run every 10 minutes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 15 minutes the remainder of the day. Line 5 will run 30 minutes all day on a majority of the route and 60 minutes on the branches. Line 6 will run 30 minutes only on the portion west of downtown and 60 minutes on Cleveland Avenue. Line 7 will run 30 minutes all day on a majority of the route and 60 minutes on the branches. Line 10 will run every 10 minutes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. west of downtown only, and will run every 15 minutes the remainder of the day for the entirety of the line. Line 22 will run every 15 minutes from 5 to 8 a.m. and also from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. in the area south of Broad Street only, and will run 30 minutes the remainder of the day for the entirety of the line. Line 24 will run 60 minutes all day for the portion of the line north of Eastland Mall. For the area south between Eastland Mall and Groveport, that service will only run from 6 to 9 a.m. and 1 to 4 p.m. Line 31 will run every 30 minutes. And line 33 will also run every 30 minutes on a majority of the route and 60 minutes on the branches. The CMAX will have a 10-minute frequency from 3 to 6 p.m. and 15 minutes the remainder of the day. In addition to increasing frequency on a majority of our lines, we're also restoring some lines that have been suspended. The line 21 is coming back, and the hours of operation for that line will be 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. at a 60-minute frequency. We are also restoring part of line 25 that will run from Mount Carmel south to Canal Winchester from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. at a 45-minute frequency. The northern portion of that route will be covered by the Northeast on-demand zone. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring back all of our lines. Our rush hour lines will continue to be suspended. We are also continuing to suspend line 35 at One Granville, that is covered by the Northeast on-demand zone, as well as the C-Bus, the Night Owl, and the CODA Air Connect will continue to be suspended. As always, CODA will continue to evaluate community needs, customer feedback, and resources to determine when to restore these services. We are also bringing back the late night lineup These are scheduled times when most major lines arrive downtown at the same time to provide transfer opportunities. These lineups will occur at night on weekdays and weekends at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. The lines included in the late night lineup are lines 1 through 11, the 102, and the CMAX. You can view the specific lineup times at coda.com/major service change announcements. I'm going to be going through some specific realignments. The Line 9 has been on a temporary realignment in the outbound direction for a little while now. That is going to be a permanent realignment that will run east on Naughton, south to Grant, and east on Long Street and continue on its regular route. Line 22, as I mentioned earlier, will run every 15 minutes from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and also 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on the portion highlighted on this map south of Broad Street. And that is due to increased demand for ridership in that area. Line 24 is restoring service south of the Eastland Mall. That will run from, as I mentioned before, from 6 to 9 a.m. and 1 to 4 p.m. only. Line 25, as I also mentioned earlier, will operate from Mount Carmel East Hospital south to Canal Winchester. The northern portion of the line will be absorbed by the Northeast On-Demand Zone. And that will allow you to use our Coda Plus app to hail a bus that will arrive within 45 minutes. And now another service planner, Amber Boyd, is going to be discussing our on-demand Coda Plus service. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amber Boyd. I'm a service planner with Coda, and I'm just going to discuss with you a little bit about Coda Plus. Coda Plus is an innovative mobility solution for Grove City, Westerville, and Northeast Columbus. The service allows customers to request on-demand rides from point A to point B within a specific zone. To schedule a Coda Plus trip, you would have to download the Coda Plus app from an app store or Google Play to request your ride. Once the app has been downloaded and your account has been created, you can request trips in any of our service areas, Grove City, Westerville, or the northeast side of Columbus. Currently, we have a near South Side zone proposed that is proposed to launch in November, but we'll discuss that in further detail. In Grove City, Coda Plus will expand to include the Ohio Health Grove City Town Center, and the Walmart Distribution Center. Within this zone, the maximum estimated time of arrival is 15 minutes, and you'll be able to travel anywhere within the blue pictured zone here to the left. This service operates on weekdays from Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. On August 24th, Coda launched Coda Plus Westerville. This zone encompasses parts of Westerville and will provide point-to-point trips to and from locations such as Otterbein University, West Star area businesses, Polaris Fashion Place, Mount Carmel St. Anne's, and IKEA. This zone will also operate on weekdays, Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. As mentioned previously, our near South Side zone is proposed to launch in November of this year. This zone is proposed to include Nationwide Children's Hospital, Reeve Avenue Center, ICT Manufacturing, Marion Franklin Community Recreation Center, and more. At this time, we are still determining the hours of operation within this zone. In response to the pandemic, CODA launched the Northeast Emergency Zone to provide transit access for customers who experience lost fixed route service in parts of Northeast Columbus. On September 21st, this zone will operate in parts of Gahanna, Westerville, and New Albany with our larger coaches, and it will expand to include John Glenn International Airport. Within this zone, the maximum estimated time of arrival once you request your trip is 45 minutes, and the service will provide connections to and from our bus stops and select other locations such as hospitals and grocery stores. Within this zone, the hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, and service will begin at 7 a.m. and continue until 8 p.m. Moving on to transportation in the Rickenbacker area, Groveport Rickenbacker Employee Access Transit provides shuttle service within the Rickenbacker area and connects customers from our CODA lines, line 22 and 24, to various businesses within the Rickenbacker area. Mirroring CODA's current suspended fare policy, this shuttle service is free to our customers. And starting on September 21st, Great Service will operate in a series of shifts. On weekdays from Monday to Friday, the morning shift will begin at 5:45 a.m. and continue until 9:15 a.m. The afternoon shift will begin at 1 p.m. and continue until 5:15 p.m. And the evening shift will begin at 7 p.m., continuing until 9:30 p.m. On weekends, Saturday and Sunday, they will also operate in a series of shifts. The morning shift will begin at 5:45 a.m., continuing until 9:15 a.m. The afternoon shift will begin at 2:30 p.m., continuing until 5:15 p.m. And the evening shift will begin at 7 p.m., continuing until 9:30 p.m.
Thank you, Amber. We also, I'm sorry, you still have more to go, sorry.
No problem. To schedule trips within this zone, to access Great Service, you would travel on a CODA line 22 or 24 to the Rickenbacker Marathon Station. Once you're there, you don't need to call Great. They'll be there to pick you up. You'll exit the CODA bus and connect to the Great Shuttle service, and you will be transferring for free. You can ride that shuttle directly to your destination. And then when you're ready to get back to CODA service, you will call the number listed below, 443-900-9449, when you're ready to be picked up from your destination and taken back to the Marathon Station. Be prepared to give your Great driver your location and name. Once requested, the driver will return to pick you up and transport you back to that Marathon Station. Now I will defer back to Jeff.
Thanks, Amber, and thanks, Drew. We also want to remind you about our Mainstream and Mainstream On Demand service. We have provided both services under normal operations through the entire pandemic, and we also have enhanced cleaning and disinfecting procedures. If you're using our Mainstream On Demand, it provides you with more flexibility, and you can schedule at least 2 hours in advance. The service hours for Mainstream On Demand are 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you're using our Mainstream service, our call center hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then Saturday and Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So we would like for you to continue to get involved in future service changes. We welcome questions about our service changes, reactions to our methodology, and ideas on how we can continue to search for service solutions that better meet our community needs. So tell us what you think. Your voice is crucial to CODA success. Visit coda.com/contact anytime to suggest how to improve CODA services.